Sanam, I have been wanting to talk to somebody all day, and I tried to bring it up to a couple people, and I just don't feel like there was space to fully express myself. And I've been looking forward to coming home and doing this vlog because it's a place where I can express myself and be authentic and share my experience and to be heard by me, above all. And what I want to share my experience on is relationships and forming new habits when it comes to relationships, especially ones that can potentially be intimate or can potentially result in dating or something of that nature. And since I was a little boy, I was always pretty clingy when it came to relationships. Like when I was 15, I found love and gave this girl my whole heart and got heartbroken. It was a valuable experience, and I was only 15, but like that was very real. And then I became like this super strong Christian, and then every girl that I dated was about marriage, And in the Christian community, I always feel like there's like a lot of pressure on relationships, because some Christian communities there's no sex, and then it's like sex happens when you get married, and so dating becomes about marriage, and that like informed a huge part of my relationships. And so when I began to venture and explore more, I had to break this conditioning of like all the pressure I was bringing to a relationship. At the same time, I've had two really healthy, kind of long relationships, and healthy in the best way that I knew how. And since one of my relationships has ended 2.5 years ago, I haven't had a relationship, nor have I I haven't really been intimate with somebody either. Not too, I just don't want to get into that. But I haven't had a partner, intimate partner, where we are building a relationship since that 2.5 years. And I'm just kind of picky. I've also been growing a lot. And when it comes to my relationship, like one, I've learned not to give my heart away to everybody, to every girl, so I've become very selective of who I choose to spend time with and who I choose to, invest into a relationship. Regardless of where it goes, whether it's friendship or not, I'm just picky about who I'm in a relationship with, a ship. with. And just this week, I have surprisingly found myself really drawn to a certain person. And at first it was just kind of like playful and wanting to be friends and not even like thinking there's no way we're compatible. And but just recently I have spent time with this person and I really find myself amazed at the connection that's there, and it excites me. I haven't felt this way in a while, and naturally I think because I feel this way, it's like I'm having to like pull the reins. I'm having to like, whoa, because it's really easy, for me to just and like flood a person with my love, and I think that that's okay to do. Yet to give somebody your heart too soon and too quickly is unbalanced. It takes time. And so I find myself like pulling back the reins and checking myself and needing myself first, putting my relationship first with myself so that I don't need this other person. And I think that there's an aspect of human relationships, especially when it comes to like dating. For me, there's almost like an aspect of escapism, or it's almost like a drug, And this is just like my relationship with it, I guess. It's just like when somebody makes you feel good, kind of like a drug. It's like, feels so good. It's like not clinging to that, not grabbing to it and needing it, giving it space. It's just like if you like a certain food, it's like not eating that food too much so that you savor it and you have a healthy relationship with it. And I find like myself there's an aspect that I could see within myself of wanting to escape things that I need to sit with, things that I need to confront. Escape it by running to this person, And I'm not doing that, but I definitely have to stop myself from doing that because these are old relationship habits. And how you treat one thing is how you treat everything. And this is a common trait in all of my relationships with food, running to it, and almost taking too much in of it because it feels so good. But knowing that that's not healthy. My relationship with anime, I think 1 or 2 episodes is good. But when I eat too much, it's like, oh, I've been sitting here for hours. And sometimes it's nice to allow yourself to binge on food. Sometimes it's nice to allow yourself to binge on TV. But it's not sustainable, you know? And so it's like the same thing with this girl, is that like I have to make sure that I'm keeping the relationship healthy by not needing it, by not putting too much of just not being too much, like being chill, you know? And I'm like having to teach myself this. Well, and being chill is being sexy, you know? That is like where you don't need nobody else. That's sexy, you know? Where you got yourself. And when somebody is authentically themselves, that is sexy. Not needing something else. So it's like, even though I feel like I want to reach out, you know, and like cling almost to this person because I feel so much, I'm like having to alchemize that and cling to myself. It's beautiful, while authentically expressing myself and being myself. So in high school, before I was aware enough of this, it always seemed like the guys who cared less, was more successful in getting a woman. Not getting, but dating, finding a partner. This always just seemed like the case. And that like the less you cared, the more you benefited. And so I would intentionally have to act like I don't care as much. But that was for power of the relationship. There was a saying going around that in college and in high school for me, that whoever cared the less had the most power. And it's like now I seek to not have power in a relationship except the power that is my own, over my own sovereignty and over my own being, and over my having power over my own relationship with myself. But having power over a relationship is, I don't need it, I don't want it. And if somebody is needing power over a relationship, like, I don't want to be in that relationship, you know? But it's interesting because I'm up, like some of these, what used to I would do for power, now I'm doing for self-empowerment. And it's like being chill, taking a step back, giving some space, you know? And yeah, so I just wanted to express myself because it's like, I feel like I have so much love, you know? Like, if I were to not restrain myself and just gush this feeling out, it would be too much. It would be smothering. And honestly, it's unappetizing. Too much of a good thing, too much sweetness can make you sick. And too much too much saltiness, too much offstandish can make you bitter, you know? So it's like being sweet, but also being salty, you know? But not salty like being salty, but being salty to enhance. Oh, this feels really good. I didn't plan to say any of this, but to just let it flow out. Oh, I finally feel like I can express myself. I don't know if I'm gonna send this to the girl. But this is definitely for me. So, I stay in my power. I stay dedicated to me first, and all will come. You know, I had the talk with this wonderful queen. I had the talk of just like, expressing where we're at and checking in, and it's cool because it's just the beginning, and it's like, let's see where this goes. It's an adventure, and it's fun. If I were to cling to it and try to make it something that it doesn't evolve into, then it almost ruins it. So to let go, to give it space to flower, is what's needed right now. I'll do my part, and I'll water this flower, and I'll feed it, and I'll lay the foundation for this relationship to grow. But I can't do much else. It's just like letting go, I think it's a beautiful metaphor for a relationship. It's like you trying to make the relationship something that it doesn't grow into. It's like trying to control, Whereas if you want something to blossom beautifully, you water and you give it a good foundation. A good foundation in a relationship is healthy boundaries, healthy communication, compromise in a good way, not compromising yourself, but compromise. I think that's big for all relationships. Meeting in the middle, I should say, maybe. What else? It's kind of fun because I get to define this for myself. So I have boundaries, communication, compromise. I think support, my needs in a relationship, I need to be supported in what I'm doing in life, and needing to be supported in my dreams. And I think the biggest thing is in a relationship is the love of oneself. Needing a person in a relationship with me to love themselves so that I can trust them. I can trust that they're taking care of themselves. And so when they communicate that they need something, it's not coming from a place of manipulation. It's coming from a place of authenticity, of expressing their needs. I like those things. So communication. boundaries, support, compromise, and the love of oneself, which is also trust. Yay! I don't know if I'm going to cling to those or not, but that feels good, you know? So that's as a foundation. So that's really all I have to water in this relationship that I'm currently interested in, is building these foundations and being disciplined, devoted, discerning, and dedication. My 40s. And just letting go and seeing. It feels so good to work through this. This is like what I needed to work through to feel like, okay, I let go. Okay, I don't know how long I've been talking. Thank you so much. Sanam.